And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Toy Soldiers Old School. This is episode 57, which I'm calling the Battle of the Talesian Passage. We'll see if it gets there. So, my name is Diane Morrison. I'm also known in the community as Sable Aradia. I'm the creator of the Toy Soldier Saga, and I will be your GM for the evening.
Go there.
When I am not GMing, I also play a character. Her name is Captain Celine Wintermist. She is she's a young idealistic priestess who joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy and then the Marines in order to see the universe and maybe help some people out along the way. War was not in her plans, but war is upon her. My and her pronouns are she or they. And we will go to my left and we will talk to Rowan.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I play Vonvin Starsong. She's our party druid and ship's druid, in part, along with Alessander Tremaine, who's one of Sable's NPCs. And Vonvin joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy to see the universe and fly on starseed ships, which are amazing. And, new plants and animals and things. And occasionally she likes to stab a slaver in the groin. And she's found some family and some friends and transitioned to the Marines in a bug suit. Her pronouns are she, her, and so are mine.
All right, we'll go down to below Rowan to Blake.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'll be playing the part of Crowley. He is a Phoenix, which is a feline-like race of my own creation. He's joined the Navy along with friend Yasma and having some great adventures. Looking to see what's in the future. Pronouns are he, him.
Awesome. And Dawn.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I play Yasma Snowwind. I just joined the Navy for the heck of it one day and been kind of going along with it and enjoying myself and discovering family and friends and a man and yeah. So our pronouns are she, her.
All right, and Brianna.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm also known as Siobhan the Writer. I play Lieutenant Lilas Madrimlian. Don't call him Lilas. He'll never forgive it. He's an altruistic elf who has joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy because of family obligations. Was looking into starting an intelligence organization that might still go into effect, but he's now looking more at Black Ops. It seems he has a flair for them. And knowing who to call on. So, his pronouns are he, they, mine are she, her.
Awesome. And Aaron.
Who?
You.
Oh, me.
Me, you, yes.
Yeah,
you.
right. I believe I'm called Aaron. Today, anyways.
Someone's being an asshole.
Better than late for supper.
Online, I'm known as Aaron Ree. I cook supper, so
he totally cooks supper, so.
Online, I'm known as Aaron Ree, which is spelled exactly as it sounds, R-I-G-H. I play the part of Ruavel Sunfall, who is a bit of a Pratt nobleman who's learning his way around the Marine Corps and how to be a good officer and a gentleman. And our pronouns are he, they.
Awesome. Yes, if this is your first time... Oh, wait, no, we've got one more. Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I play Arian. He's kind of the older, grizzled, enlisted, obviously easily forgettable member of the party.
Don't make me slap you, Chris. I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm trying to start the session in World Anvil.
Anyway, he sees it as his job to keep this group of youngsters alive. He's still adjusting to being a duke and an officer, and still tends to think more like a commoner sergeant. And our pronouns are he, him.
All right. Okay, so one unique aspect that we do in our game, we're kind of we're not performers. Most of us aren't even streamers. Some of us are, but most of us aren't. We're actually a group of gaming buddies that couldn't play anymore during the pandemic in person, so thought, well, we gotta go online anyway. What the hell? We might as well stream it. So this campaign takes place in the Toy Soldier Saga universe, which is the universe that I write my books in. This is kind of a prequel to the novels. This is the first interstellar war that has just broken out. The books take place during the second interstellar war. Assuming that she doesn't murder him, Celine Wintermist and Ruavel Sunfall are destined to be the parents of the protagonist of the novels, Shandar Sunfall. So far, he's all right. So, you know.
So far.
So far. She likes him. She's going to keep him around for a while. A unique thing that we do in our campaign is that we also have the group that we call the Chat Crew. The Chat Crew are people who have used a channel point reward that is, I think it's 10,000 or channel points, something like that.
100,000.
100,000.
Oh, it's 100,000. Okay, so it's one of the big ones, right? That says, I want to play. And that means that you get to play one of the NPCs. We will interact with the Chat Crew. And so if you don't know who we're talking to, we're probably talking to one of them. They have characters written up, and I see a bunch of them have introduced themselves, and that is excellent. All right. So, Intelligence Officer's Report.
Right. So, we just met with the Admiralty. They've given us leave to go ahead and still be somewhat loose in our interpretation of the rules. As long as we don't get too gung-ho and become insubordinate. And we were just getting everything prepped to go in. Arian had just reported into the, I believe it was a lieutenant colonel for the Marines about tactics. Dazzle Cat had gone with to give a report on the goblins. Yep. And all the way back, we were having a sit rep in the wardroom to figure out.
Cat sneezing.
Oh. Yeah, we were having a sit rep in the wardroom with the captain to figure out our next move.
Were we? I thought that we were about to head out because the fleet is moving into the wormhole. At least that is the intention. And they are going to eliminate any forces that stand between them and the wormhole.
Right.
Thought we still had a couple days leave thing
Yep.
going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I see Dazzle Cat is now stretched out on her bed, whose mattress is now stuffed with lots of coins. Yes, because they got paid. They got paid their wages, and they were able to... the Admiralty Court ruled that they had lawfully taken prizes, and they were paid shares for those prizes. So the characters are actually kind of rolling in it at the moment, which is a nice change of pace for many of them.
Yes, we got paid masses of money at the icy frozen butthole of the universe with nowhere to spend it.
Yep, that's exactly it. They are currently stationed on...
Welcome to the Navy.
Yep. They're currently stationed on permafrost, which is a disk of ice that is kind of at the farthest orbit of the system that they're in, which is the Draconian system, because it is near perigee to the Talasian wormhole. And, yeah, there are whorehouses, but they're currently being used for hospitals. And there's a bar with a couple of bars. They're pretty crowded. So there are your options. You can drink, You can whore, or you can possibly
Sleep
find-
on it.
Yeah, or sleep, or you can find someone to gamble with, I suppose.
Oh, I meant like Dad said she stuffed hers in her mattress, so sleep on it.
There you go.
Literally.
That's right. Dazzlecat has dreamy look as she now thinks the metal lumps make this the most comfortable bed she's ever had. Somebody's manifesting some draconic heritage, I think.
No, it's the I have money. I don't
I
care
was
how uncomfortable
poor.
this is. It's comfortable.
Yeah. Nimmelin is doing the same. Quill is on Nimmelin's chest. Quill, for those of you who may be new, is a white raven familiar. Making purring noises like a cat. Being contrary, that's great. She is tired because Daz and her had a long convo earlier in the night. Excuse me. Yeah, so I kind of want to, unless people have roleplay things they specifically want to do, I'm interested in skipping through some time. So is there anything that people particularly want to do with this leave time? I know that, of course, Arden is making shit. Arden is always making shit.
That's a given.
I need to get my bug suit upgraded to Arden's list. I'll give +2 on that, but he's not currently anywhere to be found. I guess he's in the lab.
Yep. I guess so. Okay, nobody else has anything major they want to do here?
No, just Fonbin is of course going to spend time with both Alessander and Xerxes.
Yeah, Alessander does come in, of course, as does Xerxes, and they're very eager to catch up with you on what they've missed since they took the prize ships back. So
yeah, they released Xerxes from the hospital.
Yep.
He's on crutches.
Yep.
Is he? Oh yeah, he doesn't have a ship anymore, does he?
Nope. The ship went down. But he is sporting a black pearl earring.
Looks like you had a bit of a time of it, eh? She says to him.
I've had worse days, Captain.
Welcome back, she says.
Thanks. Hopefully I'm still welcome here.
Of course, she says. Gives him a hug. Well, come on, tell us all about your adventures.
Yeah.
He says, not really much. I linked up with the fleet. Right? They told me to remain in command of the vessel. Right? They screwed it up. Right? And I fought in the fight for permafrost.
And went down.
I went down. Yeah. Ship's over there. Points to a pile of wreckage.
Are you okay? She says, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. He says,
Did you salvage anything off of her?
not really.
Looks like it crashed and then they burned it, she says. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's bad luck on your first command, she says.
Hopefully it won't happen on my next command.
I'm sure it won't, she says, gives him a squeeze.
Well, I hope not too, says Von Vin. I think one crash is not one too many.
Dazzlecat pipes up with, really? With a broken leg, you expect salvage?
No, I mean, some of the crew could have gone back to salvage afterwards.
He says, well, a great general is said to be a man who has met with at least one great defeat.
Yeah, she says.
You can't be a great general unless you've been defeated.
Crowley says, well, any crash that you can walk away from is just a rough land.
Yeah, it was a rough landing, all right. He says, I was alone on it, so.
Alessander says the ship was damaged beyond repair. It was going down, and I understand that Commander Xerxes, he says, ordered his crew to abandon ship and went down with her.
He nods.
So it's Commander now, is it? Sir?
I do believe that promotion has come through, says Alessander.
Nods.
I don't think anybody else is officially commander, so I guess you're my number one, she says.
Thank you, ma'am.
I will vacate my quarters.
Nah, keep them. I'm gonna hang out with Ravel anyways all the time, so you might as well be there with her mind.
They're both close enough to the wardroom. Doesn't matter,
Yeah.
she says.
It's not like one's much bigger than the other.
Yeah.
They're all glorified closets.
Good cozy naval living quarters, says Alessander with a straight face.
Yep.
Yeah, but at least the captain and the XO usually get a walk-in closet instead of a broom closet.
Truth. Yeah, it's a pretty good walk-in closet, says Celine.
Actually, we're lucky somebody doesn't decide to save space by putting a space to hang your uniforms in the front and just shelves that you slide in on for as a bunk.
He says, be glad we're not on a human ship, says Xerxes.
Or are they worse?
Oh god, these is the human ship's like half the deck is the captain's quarters.
Why?
What?
I don't know. He says. But seriously, like you go to the quarter deck, and half the deck is the captain's quarter.
What a waste of space, she says.
And they pile everybody else in the other half of the deck.
I'm going to insert Dazzlecat's comments here because I think they're very pertinent. It's great. Dazzlecat said, I was busy getting the pay. And then when she heard that the quarters would not be changing, she said, if anyone was close enough to hear, so you may roll
Generally
your, what the hell is that?
Perception?
Perception?
Yeah.
What died out there?
I don't know. Dog knocked something off.
That
Can you-
sounded like a pot lid.
My leg on, I guess. Brianna, can you come down and see what the dog did?
Sure.
Right,
Just give me a second. I want to roll my perception first.
yeah, you bet.
Because I think I hear. Well, of course I hear her, but it doesn't mean she's up by my door.
Yeah, she freaked out, ran away so she could pretend she had nothing to do with it.
She was on the counter, is what it was.
Yeah, got her nose in something. I just wanted to make sure she hadn't broken anything and that there was something
Yeah. And that
damaged.
she didn't
that-
fucking.
yeah, that she
So-
would be getting into, right?
Right.
I rolled a grand total of 16.
Okay. Okay,
I rolled 22
22.
with my +4.
I'm going to say that Von Vin didn't notice anything because Rowan just really cannot read chat tonight for some reason and just keeps saying, error, network not available as far as the Twitch channel goes, so I can't even follow text chat this evening. My apologies to chat crew.
Yeah, that's why I read that, actually, why I read the chat crew. I know not everybody can see chat.
But you knocked down.
It's okay, I don't mind if she's in here.
Ah.
I don't mind if she's in here right now, Brianna. It's okay.
No, she chased.
Oh, lie down. If you're gonna be in here, you gotta lie down. You gotta stay over there and leave the kitty alone. This Banshee, by the way. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah. So those of you who did hear something, right, which is anyone who rolled more than a 15, because she was obviously muttering under her breath, was, phew, at least now I don't have to figure out a new sneaky route to Lieutenant Mad's quarters. And then in regards to the why, right, she said, it's a round ear thing. And then the crew is packed in real cozy. That sounds like it was a great chat there, Magpie. I will definitely catch up with it. If you a way to share that recording with the rest of the crew here might be to upload it to Google Drive and then put the link in the chat crew channel, and I will definitely listen to it. No question. I love that kind of stuff, backstory and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise.
Yeah, Nimlin had existential thoughts and asked Daz some existential questions. Daz is not a very existential person. Also, ginger ale. We want to make some. Sensible. All right.
Yeah, no worries about Banshee being downstairs right now.
Okay, she was fine. Nothing important was knocked over.
No, just the plate that the kibble was on.
Oh well.
In the
No,
bathroom?
right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now she's up in my room eating, looking at my plate and bowl.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, they were discussing, and that's where they were. Human quarters being like half the
Yeah,
deck
crazy.
is devoted to the captain. Like, but why? Very inefficient. Or I guess it must be very status focused or something, eh?
Yeah, usually.
I don't know a lot of humans personally, she says.
I met a few.
Banshee's a cook.
Do you like them? What do you think, Daz? You've probably had more encounters with them than anyone else. Oh, perfect. Phone's ringing. That'll be your mother.
Not spam.
Okay. They have hammocks hung in stacks of 2? Wow. I mean, we'll do that when we have to overcrew, but on an ongoing basis?
Stacks of 4 in some cases.
Wow. Yeah. And all when they could make the captain's quarters a little smaller, eh?
Yep.
Well, I don't understand, but
Well, usually the captain's quarters also double as the captain's ready room.
well, okay. Fair enough. Of course, all the best loot is in the captain's quarters, points out Dazzlecat. She nods. She says, yeah, that's just practical, she says, but that's what the safe is for, she says. I mean, granted, you access it through my room, but... Well... Not that I looked really officially, anyway, says Daz. Yeah. Celine shrugs, like, eh. She says, it takes all kinds to make the Marines. What you did before you were a Marine is not my concern, she says. Except in how it can be applied to do our job, she says.
Yep. That's my job. Making sure it's applied.
I'm glad somebody knows something about that sort of thing, because I'm really not very skilled at that. Oh, I got skills, says Dazzlecat.
Yep.
Excellent.
And lovely trinkets, too. Which can come in handy.
Well, what about you, Alessander? What happened to you during the battle? He says, I was given a small command as well. He says, it was intended to be temporary. It was a Marine ship. We boarded one of the Fomorian ships and took it, he says. There were heavy casualties, he says. I'm disappointed that happened, he says, but...
Orcs are no slouches in a fight.
No.
says Ravel.
He says, no, I make no apologies for it. We fought as hard as possible, he says.
Nods.
The Fomarians are tough foes, says Von Vin. I mean, our boarding actions and the way we do things make it look easy.
You think
But
that's easy?
to have to do it in a different manner than the way we run it, specifically from the Void Chaser, says Von Vin, would be way, way harder.
So, I got a question for you there, Xerxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're playing Xerxes, I forgot. Okay.
Why the heck didn't you have your bug suit with you?
Says, I did. Why do you
Then
think
why
I'm
did-
still alive?
Oh, okay. You could have just flown off the ship at the last possible second.
I did.
Okay.
Ship exploded.
Oh.
I
yeah,
understand he
would've
got
said
hit with the crashing mainmast, actually. Says, Arden may need to take
Speaking
a
of
look at his
which,
suit.
yeah, Arden's already looking at it. He says
Ah, good.
it's where he is.
Celine winces.
As a captain goes down with his ships until they hit the ground. I was captain of that ship.
Celine
Says-
nods her agreement.
So does, Magellan.
He says, so I waited till it hit the ground and then I took off.
I'm glad you weren't more injured, she says.
He says, I'd never have another command if I hadn't. He says, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
But as it was, the Navy and the Marines saw that you did your duty and they promoted you, she says, clapping him on the shoulder.
He nods.
Yep.
Well, says Alessander, I think the air has become somewhat thickened here. Perhaps we should talk about more jovial topics. He says.
Yes, like beautiful women, says Xerxes and puts his arm around Von Ben.
Indeed, says Alessander.
Flatterers.
Yeah, only if it's false, says Magellan.
Yeah, in the previous conversation, Daz said goblins are dangerous when they stampede. And then Nimmelin pointed out they also like Sirocco flavored ants. Daz said, and Frosty was certainly clinging while in space. Points to her leg where the goblin had to be pried off after his capture. Well, if I were flying with someone in a bug suit, to be honest, and I wasn't in a bug suit, I'd be holding on pretty tight too.
Yeah, falling doesn't bother me, says Ravel. It's hitting the ground that bothers me. I could fall all day. Wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
It's not falling that's the problem, says Von Vin. It's the sudden stop at the bottom.
Yes.
Exactly.
Are you chewing the bathtub plug? You are chewing the bathtub plug.
Banshee?
Come get it from her.
Oh no, I'll grab it. It's fine. I'm right here.
Is it the
Can I
green
have
one?
that? No.
The white one?
Okay, she's playing chase. She ran away from me, so.
Angie.
Oh my. To be fair, the bathtub plug is one of those external ones that has like this little man-shaped thing going like this. I mean, it really kind of resembles an oversized soother.
I don't know where she put it.
Oh my god.
No chewing the bathtub plug.
I already had to replace it when I took the other one out.
Oh, Jesus, Eli. Eli says, oh, for fuck's sake, could not figure out why I was getting video but not sound. Turns out I had accidentally plugged in the sound cord instead of the charging cord. I have totally been there. Glad you got sound. Welcome back. Awesome. Yeah, the problem is, it's a good point, but you know, you lock Banshee in the room and you're gonna hear. There's a reason why she's named Banshee. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, but it's dark, so whatever, says Eli. Oh dear.
Eli's
and
in the
she wants
car.
to play at the moment.
Yeah, to be fair, this time of night for the past week, we've been kind of gathering in the living room and horsing around with the dog, so
Yeah.
she probably expects to be horsing around. Yeah.
You need to trade her a different toy for the plug, and she'll be alright.
Yeah, Celine says, well, I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted, she says. I think I just might go to bed early.
Yeah. Says Xerxes.
She kind of casts a little glance at
Rugal.
Rugal.
Yeah. He says, yeah, go to bed early. That sounds like a good idea.
Good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome
Good night,
back to the
Captain.
crew, she says to Alessander and Xerxes, and good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
It's good
and
to have both of you back.
yeah, she and Xerxes
Oh.
Go to bed.
By the way, ma'am,
Yes.
we need at least one more druid in the event that comes up again. Manning the ship's garden and sick bay all by myself was pretty low on sleep.
Okay, good point, she says. She says,
Or even a cleric, you know.
okay, duly noted. She says, yes, I suppose I'm not serving in that capacity anymore. I'm too busy coordinating everything else. So I will put in a requisition, she says. We'll put in a request.
Thank you.
Yeah, Banshee does have opinions. I like her quite a lot, actually. She's a very clever dog. In many ways, she reminds me of my dog, Blue, who has been gone for 2 years now, right? In that she's very smart and has her own personality, but in general is good-hearted and sweet and wants to please, right? So,
Oh yeah.
Girl.
And the thing was, is the other night, we were talking gaming, so she came up and shoulder checked the door to wake Steve up to get him to come down too.
yeah, yeah, it was great.
Hello, Banshee.
Dazzle returns to her bed, which softly jingles until she gets comfy. Nimmelin snaps back to awareness, jolting in her bunk and lifting her hand to her aching head. Daz, I'm gonna get some water and fresh air real quick, and anything that elves would use like aspirin, willow bark tea, which is where basically aspirin comes from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Banshee.
Which means, just as Von Vin and Xerxes are heading off, they are confronted by Nimmelin, who says, "Ma'am, I have a massive headache. May
Get your nose out of my food.
get some willow bark tea?"
Bad dog. Bad dog. Go.
Absolutely,
Bad.
this way, she says. She smacks Xerxes on the ass and goes and deals with work.
I'm not happy with you.
Helped herself to your food, did she?
Yep. And it wasn't on the floor. Get.
All right,
Don't
come here,
run.
Banshee. Come on. Come on. There you go. She can lick out my soup bowl. I'm done with it. It's on the floor.
I don't mind if she looks at my soup bowl, but she has to ask
Yeah, that's
be
right.
given to her.
Good girl.
Well, Sable just demonstrated to her you don't get in trouble for licking things that are on the floor.
That was the point.
That are
Yeah.
given to you on the
Yep.
floor.
That
Yep.
was the point.
Yep.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. That would be her rattling the bowl around the plate. Anyway, So Vonvin goes to fetch some willow bark tea for Nimmelin.
Yep.
Celine and Ruvel go to sleep.
Yeah, not right away.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Yeah, sleep was not the plan, really. Bed was the plan.
No.
Sleep
Yeah.
was not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not exactly.
Yep.
Come to the
Magellan-
conclusion that they probably at least keep a pint on the shelf at this point of willow bark tea. Maybe even
Yeah.
some tincture.
Actually, Daz, that's a difference between modern militaries and older militaries. In this time period, it's not quite as stratified in direct chain of command. You go to the person in charge of the sick bay for the sick bay stuff, right? So,
No, I think Daz was saying which officer they report to, as in, like how Daz reports to Madrimlian. Aiden reports to the captain, as in aides and stuff.
right? Oh, I
Nimblin has-
see. As in, find out what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Usually the bosun if you don't have anyone directly in command.
Yeah, and the bosun is Evolith Oleander. Yeah. All right. So, anybody else doing anything important?
Well, Madrimlian's going to look for Mariama.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
downstairs in your room.
Okay. Yeah, no,
You have a better bunk.
Yep. Right. Yep. So they'll go. Eventually, they'll go to sleep too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Now, how many days did I say you guys had?
We had two. Other was two total.
2 more.
Okay.
Okay, no, you guys are awoken early by beating to quarters and
Oh,
ringing
grab
the
my
bells.
Grab my bugs. Jump on my bug suit and get up there.
Yep.
She says,
Xerxes will clamber up there as best he can on his crutches.
Well, if he
Only
summons
uses
his
one
bugs.
crutch.
Oh, yeah, right. It's being fixed, so.
Right.
yeah, I'm sorry, can you repeat that because I was reading the chat?
Right. Xerxes will head up to the bridge.
Okay.
With his crutch.
Right.
Alright.
Yep.
And Ruvel gets his bug suit on and gets to his station.
Report to stations.
All right, I should probably like prepare some fight music here. Just a sec. Fight music.
You will really like these, Sable. They are gluten-free. They are a sweet potato chili lime fry. They are called Au Naturel.
Oh
I
yeah,
found them at 7-Eleven.
Cool.
sounds tasty.
They are. They're like sweet and chili and lime.
I think I'm going to shut off Discord here because I'm opening up Sirenscape.
Hey, old man. How you doing, pal?
They sort of remind me of the sweet chili heat rice chips that we used to get,
Ooh, nice. I like those.
but with a much sweeter undertone because they're made with a sweet potato.
Gotcha.
And they're fry shaped.
Sounds great, actually.
Just holding one up to the.
All right. Yep. Yeah, Celine waits until everybody gets into position. She, of course, Ruaville was woken by a messenger being sent to her quarters, right? And orders for you, ma'am. Right? And she took them and read them and said, "Beat to quarters."
Yeah, Ruvel called to the Bosun to beat the quarters.
Hear it and head.
Yes, all right. Speaking of which, well, we're not actively engaged in the fight yet, but I suppose it is time to indicate that the
Put
ship
on the
should be
drum.
at quarters. Put the little drum on. Yep. If you're just, if this is the first time you joined us, the drum indicates that the ship has been beat to quarters and combat conditions exist, and therefore the antics of the chat crew must settle down because they're expected to be fighting. Okay, got you there, Nimlin. Yeah.
Bring out your dice. You might need them.
Hey, yep.
Dazzlecat wants to know from Crowley if she needs to go to the mini catapult.
Oh yeah, and Magellan is not standing right beside the captain like he used to. He's actually left a space for Xerxes.
Yep. I'm sorry, I was asking Crowley. Daz wants to know, does she need to go to the mini catapult?
Sure.
Sure. Okay,
Might need to fling poop.
Celine opens up her orders, right? And in the usual very formal and stiff manner that orders are written in, it says that we have been ordered to proceed directly with the combined Draconian fleet to the Talasian wormhole to intercept a fleet of Fomorian ships that has been sighted on approach. So, let's get her in the
Xerxes
air.
yells, "You heard the captain, look alive, people."
Prepare to make sail, she says. And at this point, we're going to take a momentary break because I need a bio and we're going to get into a fight. It's going to be fun. So stick around and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Ah.
attack. The ship takes off. The pilot gets in the spin dizzy. Who's flying? Or not the spin dizzy.
Mariama.
This is the starfaring engine. This is Starseed ship. Okay, Mariama's flying. What is her pilot rating? Her tactical rating? I may need to know for this fight.
Her tactical rating?
Yes.
9.
Oh, she's like way tougher than us. Okay.
Oh no. Same as you.
All right.
Quick question. What's her pilot rating?
Her pilot rating is, I think here. $19.
Okay.
There's 2 scores that are relevant, right? The first is your pilot skill, right? And that's pilot rating. And then there's tactical rating, which is calculated based on the ability of magic that you have,
Mhm.
right? The first determines your ability to do maneuvers and special tricks and shit like that. And the second determines your or how fast you go.
Okay.
All right, so yes, the ship takes to space, as does the rest of the grounded fleet. Some time is spent putting people into a flight formation. This always feels incredibly slow and a big pain in the ass. So, since this is your second experience with this on this crew,
Oh.
some of you may be quite impatient because, of course, you know, they
Who's
form the line of battle. Who?
Who's our navigator currently?
Alessander.
Okay.
Why were you wanting to do navigation?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what my duties are now.
That is a good question. I imagine you will either be in charge. You'll probably be in charge of either one of the siege batteries, or you will be in charge of the one of the sail crews.
I'll take sail crew.
Okay.
Is the enemy fleet in sight?
Yes, you do see sort of a smear on the stars when you get past the limited atmosphere of permafrost. The auroras on permafrost can be distracting for seeing what's out there, but once you get past there, you do see them. Yes, they're a smear. I mean, remember, this is space. There's still a fair distance between you and them.
Ships off the port bow.
Good sighting, she says. Yeah, the order comes in to approach. Signal
Ian?
flags go up.
Aaron's gonna scan until he can pick out the enemy's flagship. He's looking for the admiral's flag of the enemy fleet.
Might not be an actual admiral flag. It could be a clan chieftain.
But
Wouldn't
then,
matter. It would be an Admiralty flag.
Yeah.
however, how would you know which it was?
True.
Remember,
know.
we're still learning about the enemy, right? And we don't know all their signals yet.
So I'm looking for the biggest, fanciest ship with the biggest, fanciest flag I can find.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellently chosen. Okay.
Yeah, Ruvel is too.
Yep. Daz is like, ooh, the telltale streamer. Yes. Yeah, so it takes several hours to approach. Of course, even, well, actually, no, not at this speed. It takes a few minutes to approach because I forgot, you guys, once you're away from the gravity well of permafrost, there's, I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes to half an hour spent synchronizing your the resonance of your starfaring engines so that you can all head into interstellar space travel at the same time, right? Then the flagship of Admiral Celestis gives the signal, everyone engages, pew! The stars turn into streaks of light with, yeah.
Just before we go, Rovel pushes Lilas off the deck. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Well, that's okay. I'm still within the air bubble. I'm in my bug suit. I can stay there. We already tested that.
Oh, not without a rope.
And Daz might actually have some fun with this in terms of the formation, knowing that she used to be in the Air Force, because starfaring ships work in sort of various combinations of flight formations and Navy formations, depending on the situation. So, yeah. Yeah, so, pew! The stars turn into streaks of light, with blue at one end and red at the other, and then bang! You are in front of the wormhole and the Fomorian fleet, which is, there is a small, it's like there's two separate fleets, right? Obviously one is just joined up with the other. The one is just that just got here is still in a traveling formation. The one that was here before has formed a line of battle across the wormhole. There are a lot of boats. And I do believe it's time for some music. Is that too loud? People in the audience.
That's a good question. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, are they stacked lines or a single long line? It looks like they're trying to be stacked lines, but at the moment it is a single long line. A wormhole is pretty big. Right? What a wormhole looks like is that you don't really see it until you're almost directly in front of it and really close. And then all of a sudden there appears like this bright tunnel of light. Can Quill see better than the rest of us? It makes little difference at interplanetary distances. Yeah, with loose chips from the travel formation trying to line up. Exactly. So you've caught them with their pants about half down.
Orders, Captain?
She says, I'm awaiting orders from the flagship.
Gotcha. Avalana. Yep, he's
now
still...
let's see how smart Admiral Celestis is today.
The Gremlin is still going down to grab some of the booms.
Good idea.
I rolled a natural 20 on my perception to spot the flagship of the enemy.
You spot it right away. The flagship is in the...
So did I.
Brilliant. Really? Both of you?
Yep.
Wow, nice. Yeah, you spot it right away. It is in the center, like it is near the middle of the line of battle. Right, in the secondary, like in the one that's actually lined up. Right, and yeah, you instantly see it. It's got a pretty good position in front of the wormhole. It's probably one of its tougher ships. Aw, hey, what happened to my blinkies? My blinky isn't working.
Batteries are dead.
But that's no fun. I guess it must have gotten banged around in the move, eh? Well, that one still works, but my D20 isn't working. D20 is toast. That's no fun.
Got her ones that have LED lights in them.
Yeah, but usually those are converted energy from when it hits the thing.
Yeah, it's broken. It ain't working. No light. You suck. Okay. I will roll a different d20. Alright, I'm trying to see whether or not the Admiral is smart enough to break traditional battle tactics. Yes, he is. He gives the Void Chaser free license. Being aware as they are. Yeah, right? I mean, because our battle tactics are a little bit different, right? She says,
Captain,
what's
spotted
up?
the enemy flagship. Center of the enemy line. Request permission to take boarding party away.
Permission granted, she says.
Boarding party with us.
Right, let's go. Presumably hands up booms. Presumably hands up the charging. No, Daz, you're the secondary boarding party.
How many charges to each person?
Remember, there's only a few charges now. Oh, wait, no, hold on. You guys were building most of the time that you were like 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you guys had about 2 weeks, I said, before you caught up with the other fleet, right?
Yep.
Okay, so how many can you have built in 2 weeks?
Well,
It's 2 weeks minus 1 day, because nobody was building shit during the Loki night.
right. Well, the thing is we also doubled the people making them in the second 2 weeks.
The question becomes for the GM is how much of our supply did we use up on the permafrost attack? I say we probably are down to having just a few left.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd agree with Chris. We blew the shit out of a lot of stuff. That's a lot of fucking powder.
That we had, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but we were laying doggo there for quite a while too.
Yes, but you wouldn't have had enough powder to make
Powder.
Right. We don't have the niter to make the powder.
Right. So you have a dozen charges.
Okay.
Right. Gotta make these count, folks. Sorry, Daz, I need those ones.
Leave a couple with the secondary boarding party in case they need to blast their way in to pull us out. But
Yeah.
I'd say we take the rest.
Yep. I'll leave two with the secondary boarding party.
A dozen total, Daz. So how many do you leave with the secondary
Let's
boarding?
I leave 2 with the secondary boarding party, which means we're taking 10.
Okay. Oh, and there were 2 in the stern cache, so that's 4 for the secondary boarding party then. Fair enough, and 10 for
Convin says,
Go ahead.
okay. Bonvin says, Darian, are we actually gonna try and board that thing, or are we just gonna blow it the fucking hell up?
Don't know if we have enough charges to take a dreadnought at this point. We might have to board.
I'm thinking if we can get a hold of that admiral and take him ransom.
Even just break their chain of command. I mean, losing your admiral right at the start of the battle is gonna hurt them. So.
Yep.
Okay.
The best opportunity is to not even use the charges on the flagship unless absolutely necessary, because they know we're coming. They know the assault is coming. They just don't know that they're going to be assaulted by Bugman. Now,
I don't think anybody's gotten word back yet, says Bonvin.
No.
exactly. So if we hit them hard and fast, we could take that flagship almost immediately, which will create havoc because they won't be getting orders. Now, if we can have others using the charges on the smaller ships that may come around when they realize what's happening, maybe more charges. The outline is better than the flagship. If we could take the
Vonvin shrugs and says, "That's an awful big deck for me and Madrimlian to try and lock down. There's a lot of people on a dreadnought. And if we
Well-
can't lock it down, it's not an easy takeover, Crawley."
How
Well-
many people are in our initial boarding party?
Us.
Our crew, right?
Yeah.
No, us. Our party.
Yes, our crew.
-3. Well, at least 2.
Okay, -2. Well, we can take a couple extra crewmen, or well, I guess we can't.
They're not experienced enough for this. Their
Yeah.
best use is to come in as a last ditch, blow a hole in the side of the ship and get us out if we have to.
Well-
Here's my point. The captain and the admiral are probably going to be on the stern castle on the quarterdeck in command.
Okay.
If we can lock that down, at least the access, I mean, there's going to be stairs and stuff going up to it, right?
Probably 2 flights of stairs going up to it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
as long as we can lock those down, we can take the stern castle. And like Rovel said, if we just take out the command element, yes, the flagship's still a dangerous ship, but breaking their chain of command at the start of the battle is going to
Yeah.
be devastating to them, because they're going to be waiting for the orders to do things, and they aren't going to be coming.
Well, and that's what I mean, is that if we can take their flagship, not only is that tactically sound, we're also going to hurt their morale immensely if we can take the flagship as a prize, not just destroy.
I will
I don't-
point out that there are probably, there could be as many as 20, it's 260 people on that ship.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we just go for the quarterdeck, take out the command.
Yeah, I think I understand what Crowley's saying. He's saying that once we have command of the ship, I don't give it back to them at the end of the battle.
Well, I don't know if we'll be able to hold it. That's my point.
Yeah.
We might be able to kill the captain of the flagship and the admiral,
Yep.
or take them hostage. But holding an entire dreadnought with 8 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, not very likely.
Possible, not like.
Yeah,
So-
because I know for a fact we won't have Arden or Xerxes, because Xerxes suits out and Arden's trying to fix it.
And
I'm not
and-
sure whether or not we're going to have the captain, because she has to remain in command of the ship.
Right.
She doesn't. She has Xerxes to remain in command of the ship.
That's true.
Well, depending on how things play out, I might have an ace up.
Commander, you have the con.
Avalon, I have the con.
She shows up with her bug suit forming around her.
Welcome, Captain.
All right, well, let's go get her.
Let's do it, she says. Lead on, she says to Arian.
All right, so I'm going to scan the enemy ships.
I
What was that? Rowan?
Rowan?
didn't say anything. I just moved. And Chris fuzzed out.
Oh, we heard you was fuzzing out. Okay.
Yeah.
What were you saying there, Chris?
All right, I'm going to scan the enemy's line before we take off. I assume fighting tops are manned and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're going into battle, are they smart enough to put lookouts on the bottom hull, and are all the ships oriented the same way, or are they flip-flopped? You know, like one up,
that's the
one
thing
down.
of this sort of thing is that they all treat it like a sea.
Right, so they're not smart enough to flip-flop them and put them one up, one down, so they can watch each other's bottoms. So,
Right.
so we'll come in from below.
No, they're not. Not this time. Remember,
we'll
this
come-
is World War One. We are just learning how to fight
Yeah,
in
we're
massive
frogmen.
space battles like this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So, I mean, if Arian's tactical mind goes, I'd have one ship upside down and the next one over up right side up.
Yep.
Even though they wouldn't be upside down or right side up, it doesn't matter. It's space.
Yep.
Your enemy's gate is always down.
Yep. Absolutely.
Anyway, but that's how I'd set it up if I was in command, but I'm not. But seeing that, I'll lead us in from below so that we are not instantly spotted by the suits. And did we refresh our supply of potions of invisibility while we were on downtime?
How long does it take to make that?
1 day per potion.
I assume actually yes, because Arden was working on shit.
Well, that's more your job.
Yeah.
Well, the potions were her job. Well, she needed something to do, so sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So that gives us what, a minute per level?
It gives us 8 minutes. Or 9 minutes.
So when
How long's
we're-
the flight over?
Yeah, how long's the flight over?
With the fact that you all have a spin dizzy in your suits.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? If they're getting close enough to fight, probably no more than a minute or two. A light
Okay.
minute is a long way.
Yeah.
And then we can quaff before we leave
Mm-hmm.
and not even be spotted as we're going under them.
And I'm drinking one of my potions of speech reader's sight.
Of which?
So I can speech reader's sight.
Okay.
It lasts for 1 hour per level.
Okay.
You read lips.
Yeah, I read lips.
Oh, that's actually an excellent idea. Good for you. That's a very good tactical mind. Excellent. Yeah, I approve completely. Yes, okay. So, actually very smart plan, guys. If this were D&D 5th edition, I would say I will give you advantage on this action. So, we will be taking that into consideration because that's really quite clever.
Yep.
Do potions co-function and not conflict or blend into new effects when mixed? Yes, they co-function.
Yeah. They used to not in 1st edition.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, look. As far as I'm concerned, potions are basically liquid spells, right? The spells co-function, so do the potions. Right?
Yep, that's the way I read it too. And
That's the way I read it too.
3.5.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Okay. Daz pulls trusty canvas out from the cache and tucks it in with gear on the bug suit. Will not touch the booms unless rescue needed.
Give Dazzlecat 4 potions of invisibility because we only need 8 and we have 12.
Mm-hmm.
yep, that's a good idea. Anyway, so we'll quaff before we
We'll
go
need
and
7.
we'll
So we'll
go
give
under.
5.
All right, you guys head over to the enemy dreadnought. Shots begin firing as you kind of get to the first staggered line. Because you are going underneath, it does not tend to affect you much in these initial exchanges.
Yeah.
Big rocks and shit whizzing by over our heads. Gotcha.
Rocks in there, corals.
So Xerxes, the traditional role of a corvette during a ship battle like this, where you must break a line of battle, is to kind of, sort of use like light cavalry, right? You
Yep.
charge at the line of battle, you shoot a bunch of shit at it, and you get the fuck
And
out
you
of there
fuck
as fast
off.
as you can,
Yep.
right? However, your crew is down a few hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this limits your effectiveness. You are either going to be down a couple of weapons or you are going to be down a couple of maneuverability points if you intend to use this. Which method would you, where would you like to disperse your crew?
I'm going to be down a couple weapons.
Down a couple weapons. Yeah, good. I actually would do the same thing, so. Okay. Yes, so you have been given discretion to act as you will. Are you going to choose to use the Corvette like the other Corvettes?
No,
Okay.
Or a frigate, ma'am.
I am
You're a
casting.
frigate. I'm sorry,
frigate.
I forgot. Okay.
I am casting ship invisibility.
Ah, there you go.
Say
Okay.
3rd level spell.
Yep.
And I am going to maneuver our ship into a position where we can ambush them.
So you're getting behind the line of battle.
Hmm.
Broadside flanking. Got it.
Boom. Disappear.
Downright
Go
clever.
low.
Okay, good one. Daz says, oh, okay, so I have Moon and 2 general crew with bug suits available for the rescue team. Yes. Is the line of the enemy presenting their broadsides with catapults at the ready or front facing to charge into approaching enemy lines? It would be their broadsides that are facing you, except that they, of course, will also be using their lighter ships to try to maneuver around and charge the line of battle that you are forming. So,
Yeah. Good luck.
yeah, except that you are not doing that. You are like getting behind the line of battle, closer to the wormhole.
We're
Yes.
single-handedly going to hold the wormhole.
A single ship blocking away can do a great deal of damage if it is clever.
Yep.
All right. So you guys are approaching the dreadnought. Your intention is to basically hit the stern castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep, lockdown access up the stairs and along the railings, because I'm sure they can climb. But lockdown access to the stern castle, try to take out the command element, and we'll reassess from there, but I assume we'll be going back over the side.
Okay. Hey, Bob. Good to see you. You got here just in time for the fight.
Do you know Bobasaur Bob?
That's right.
So I'm just gonna say smoked turkey breast with a bit of cream cheese and cranberry dressing rolled into it is really tasty.
We're having turkey tomorrow. I bought a turkey today.
Yeah, provided that it thaws in time.
Yeah, it should thaw in time. I bought it at 5 o'clock, and I'm not going to cook it till like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah. All right, so you guys approach the dreadnought.
I'm gonna say put the turkey in the tub with some water and close the door so Banshee can't get to it.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you?
in the oven at the moment. Just,
Yes.
Or any one of the cats.
the cats won't eat turkey. Well, the old man would, but he probably wouldn't.
That's why he said in the tub with the water.
Yeah,
Actually, no, if you put it in the tub with water, Banshee won't touch it.
she don't like water.
She does not like baths, so anything in the bathtub, she avoids it.
That's hilarious.
In other words, give your husband a squirt gun, Sable, and then he will no longer have trouble with dealing with Banshee when she's misbehaving outside of his reach.
Yep.
All right, so we're approaching the dreadnought.
Yep.
And she is just lying here sleeping right beside me.
No. Yeah, you're invisible, so they do not raise an alarm.
We still roll initiative so we know who's doing what when.
Yep, let's do it. Super Soaker 4000 for the dog, eh?
You can find it, one of those old 1980s battery powered ones that looks like a real gun.
Those are cool, actually. Bob Bob's all like, ramming speed! This is an away mission, actually, of the bug suit people. The Corvette is part of, or, sorry, why do I think it's Corvette? A frigate. The frigate is in the line of battle, and the frigate use is generally to try to draw off some of the fire.
Yep. But we're not doing that. We're holding the wormhole so they can't retreat.
Or advance, as the case may be.
All right, let me know what your initiatives are when you have them rolled.
28. Sorry, no, not 28. 22. No, 18. 24.
Math, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 24. We're sure now.
Yes.
Okay,
I rolled an 18 and my initiative was +6.
okay. 3. From
21.
21. Okay, excellent.
23 for Rubel.
Okay,
16 for Xerxes.
okay.
19 for Crowley.
19 for Carla.
22 for Arian.
Okay,
I think I walked on you, Yasma.
12 for Yasma.
12 for Yasma.
Yeah.
Okay. And Celine rolled a dirty 20. All right. That means that Madrimlian goes first.
Goody.
As you guys are approaching the Stern Castle, you do see the Admiral and the Captain, right? The Admiral is mostly talking or giving orders to the signal, the yeomen and signal flags, right? There is, the Captain, of course, is giving commands to the crew of the ship, right?
Oh, look at
So what are they saying exactly? What are the orders?
Okay, well, the Admiral, it's pretty straightforward. He's like, tell her, he's like, yeah, tell such and such ship to go there and this ship to go there, because they're basically trying to straighten out their just arrived fleet to form a second line of battle, right? And you can see that he's directing ships to do that. The Captain is, hold your fire, steady boys,
look at Arian and say, you want the Captain or the Admiral? Captain's probably a better fighter. Admiral's more prestigious.
I'm not so sure about that with these guys. Size and fighting ability seems to matter a lot to them.
That's true.
I could probably deal damage faster than you, but you're usually better at taking them alive. I'm not that patient with them.
Right. So I'll take the Admiral then. You take the Captain. We don't need him if we have the Admiral.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Crowley's gonna take out the guy with the flag.
Madrimlian,
You're right there.
Madrimlian and Von Vin, you're on lockdown duty. Keep them from coming up the stairs and reinforcing the Stern Castle while we deal with this.
Avalana.
Avalana.
Avalon, he's a guy.
Oh,
She
that,
lo-
right.
Avalon, yeah, right. Von Vin looks at Madrimlian, left or right.
Port or starboard?
Yeah, port
We'll
is
take
starboard.
port.
And what do
Yep.
I need to do?
You and Crowley back us up.
No, Crowley's taking out the yeoman.
Ah.
Oh, anyone else who's on deck? Is there a wheelman or anything like that?
I don't think that, okay, yeah, there'd have to be a wheel, but I think wheels only matter
For steerage.
Yeah, for steerage, right?
Yeah.
Because the helm and the starfaring engine power the ship,
Mhm.
right? So yeah, there's a wheelman, right?
Yeah.
And
It'd affect their maneuverability, though, right?
it would. Yeah, and then there is also a ballista crew on the rear. It's a medium ballista, and they are, they've got it cocked and loaded and ready to fire. Let's see.
Yasmin, do you have a reach weapon of any kind?
A reach weapon?
Like a spear
No.
or anything like that?
No, I just got a scimitar.
Okay. It's going to be dangerous, but here's what I want you to do. I want you to do a high speed pass and cut the string on the ballista. It should destroy itself on the deck.
Yeah, it should literally destroy itself. Explode
Okay.
if you cut that cable. You're gonna have to hit it with a lot of force, though.
Okay.
All right.
Good idea, says Celine.
And you want to be going really fast when you do it, because you don't want to be anywhere near that sucker when it comes springing out of there.
Gotcha.
She says, when we hit the deck, cover your eyes momentarily, she says.
Okay.
She
Alright.
readies a potion bottle in her hand, like a
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Flashbang.
like a flashbang. That's right.
Well, Adrenaline is going to, when he gets on the deck, he's mentally disrupting the crew. The ones that would possibly come up the ladder.
Okay, you do realize that. Okay, the ones that come up the ladder. All right, that's fine. Right, I was going to say, if you do that when you hit the stern castle deck, you do realize you are going to A, become visible, and B, ruin the advantage of surprise, right? But okay, if you're doing it on people coming up the stairs and you're heading to the port passage there to guard it, like you are, like you have been ordered to do, and you're going to use that to attack people who are coming up the passage, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what my. Because I figure I've got the highest initiative, so I'm going to be landing first.
Yep. Yeah, yes, I forgot. There's a few goblins running about. They seem to be aides. There's one for the admiral and one for the captain.
What color
Are
are they?
any of them blue?
Yes, one of them is blue.
Majima is changing his tactic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He is not doing a mental disruption on the crew. He's mind thrusting that damn goblin.
And Crowley's in the. What is Crowley doing?
Crowley is sneaking up behind the yeoman and going to
Right.
dispatch him.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, Celine looks, sees the blue goblin, looks at Madrimlian and says, I'll take the port passage.
Avalana, I got him.
Okay, and bam! So that's the first thing that happens is Madrimlian attacks the blue goblin with mind thrust. Aaron, can
Want
you...
me to play him?
Pardon?
Want me to play him?
Yes, I do. Because
Okay.
I was just about to ask you to do that because you understand the psionic system better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
As for chat crew, we're gonna run one round of this system aboard the Dreadnought, and then we are going to return to the Void Chaser. So we'll be right. We'll go back and forth, one round and one round. So, bam!
All right, so thrust him. He has to make a save. DC will. A DC
Nothing
16 will.
happens.
Nothing happens. Successfully defended. The blue
Alright, so
goblin turns and looks at Madrimlian, who becomes visible on the deck.
Yeah, there's a sort of a light that shines from Adrimalian's eyes, right? There is a circle of light that encircles the goblin's head, right? And then nothing happens.
Right.
Okay, the
He's got
next was
defenses against
23.
that.
Who was that 23?
That was Ruvel.
Okay, Ruvel, your turn.
I'm gonna brain this fucking admiral from behind.
All right.
Take my flat of my sword
Uh-huh.
and bam him in the back of the fucking melon.
He is flat-footed and surprised.
Yep.
Make your attack roll.
So, question: an immediate action means I can do it in response to something.
Yes. I rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
Okay, you weren't done yet then?
Hey,
Tin
hold
Man?
on a sec. Hold on a sec. Why don't we have that goblin re-roll? That save.
Okay.
Where is it at? I'm gonna retreat. I'm gonna do one
Redeem a
right now. I
reroll?
just gotta find it.
You gonna redeem a reroll?
Yep.
Okay, well, he botched his fucking reroll.
Nice.
Which is means you do double damage.
I wondered if anyone was going to remember if we were going to re-roll. I figure at episode
Yeah.
57, with
I
the,
can't.
you know, I'm not going to remind people.
Yep.
I'm
I
looking-
couldn't do it. So, Bob
Bob
did it.
redeemed one. Thank you, Bob. And he
See-
botched the re-roll.
Okay,
Yep,
so I
you
don't
do
need to
double
buy
damage.
one.
No, you
Nope.
do not.
Okay.
So thank you for reminding the chat crew that they could do that.
Yep.
So,
You
double
do
damage as in I roll my damage and then double it, or I roll.
Roll it twice.
Thank you,
Okay.
Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Hello, Werewolf Dice. Thank you for coming to my aid.
This means Brianna gets a big handful of D10s.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need that blue goblin fucking us up. So
No,
Oh.
that was going to get ugly.
That would have been ugly.
20.
Fuck you up.
9. 37. 40. 7. 50, 60 points of damage.
60 points of damage.
Mhm.
You turn on him. Your head aches for a brief moment, and his fucking head explodes.
yes. Yeah, just found the reroll when Bob redeemed it. So
Yeah.
They've only ever been 1,000.
Just keep
Bob.
that handy.
it's in a weird spot because it's not with the other like gaming
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twitch does weird shit with that. Sorry. I have no control over it.
You could always turn it off and then turn it back on again for the game. So right at the top for the first one.
It's true. It's not a bad idea, actually. I should do that. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought they
Right,
were
so-
2K. No,
so the-
they've only ever been 1,000. I've been thinking
Yep.
about raising them, but we are limiting the number you can use on any given action. Only 2.
Just 2.
And
like-
they no longer they no longer maintain after a game session. That's the other thing. You spent them, they're gone.
And unlike everyone else who watches every stream, I only have 31,000 points. So
Right.
Well,
Well, you know, Rowan's a mod, so. he's
Siobhan's a mod.
often on stream.
Yeah, Chris works for a living.
yeah. He's got a job and a life.
Unlike the rest of us. Well, except for Blake. Blake works for a living.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a job or he doesn't have a
That's
Exactly.
true.
Yep. So Goblin go boom.
Yep.
Yeah, Colin.
Blood and brain
There's-
matter all over the place.
Yeah,
You guys are starting
brain
to get
matter
used to this.
literally sprays everywhere.
Ooh, actually, that reminds me. Brain matter
How many of
sprays
us now
literally
become
everywhere.
visible?
Oh yeah, Madrilla just turns his gaze to the captain.
that's fine. We're all about to become visible. It doesn't matter. It got us here without getting shot at by the broadside. That was
Yes,
the point.
that was the point.
Yeah. All right. What the says the Admiral.
What the bong?
Yep. Krang! You said natural 20, right?
Yep. I'll roll to confirm.
We really got to get you some
31
stats.
to confirm.
Really gotta get what?
Oh wait,
Really?
27. Sorry, I forgot. It's a -4.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold-
we really got to get Ruvel some saps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brains him with his sword. Bam!
Kong! Okay, and how many, you haven't done your damage yet, but you're about to.
Oh, I'm about to.
27 to confirm, so that does confirm critical.
Sorry about
I did maximum damage. 40.
40. Not bad.
More than half his hit points.
Oh, let's think about this.
Probably at least a 12th level fighter.
I'm thinking,
Yeah, 12 level fighter, 5.5 per. So 1266.
mhm.
Right, 2 per is 24, 60, 80. Nah, 90s what his hit points are
Yeah.
approximately.
Yeah, so you hear this, his sword's mithril, right?
Yes.
So you hear this sound that literally sounds like a beautiful bell ringing. It's like bong.
Fine.
I don't even have a good bell sound around in this. Damn it, because this is like the sci-fi stuff. I have energy beams and plasma bursts, but no bells. Okay.
You need a cathedral.
Yeah, I need to be able to run both Sirenscape programs at the same time is what I need to be able to do. But my poor old computer cannot do it, so
I thought that it was gonna get interesting.
it is weak.
All at once the silence falls, the bell ceases.
What's tuning for?
Yeah. Yeah, he like staggers, obviously. It's still 40 points of damage.
I get another attack.
Okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Kari Bungie! Oh, not as good this time. Oh, it's still a threat.
Okay?
19 on the die, so. Right. And to confirm, 19 on the die.
Confirm his crit. What is that? Describe his crit.
Confirmed crit.
Yeah, I could. I
Except
mean,
he's
we're
using
using
the flat.
damage, but I could use iCrit. Why not?
Well, except he's using the flat, so I doubt he's gonna hack it
Yeah.
on all for.
Right, 38. is what I
Yeah,
did for
but we
damage.
could use the
Second
blunt.
Almost.
That's true. You can use blunt criticals.
Oh, you took iCrit off of my fucking phone.
No, I didn't.
It did. Because you had to delete a bunch of programs.
Oh, maybe I did.
Ah. Oh, no, there it is. I found it. Just wasn't in my shortcuts anymore for some reason. Alright. So, bludgeoning. Terrible bruise, double damage, and 2d6 non-lethal damage. Isn't that convenient for you?
Okay, cool. So I did 38 for my regular damage and plus 12, 48.50. So I've done 90 points. I think you went down.
Yeah, good night, sweet prince.
Bam!
Hit the ground.
Hits the ground.
Yeah, he was like, ugh, and then he hit him again, bang, and he's like, you know, Tweety birds around his head, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. The last what I just thought of, right, was because you hit with the pommel, right? The vibration is going up through the sword. Remember, Bugs Bunny and the singing sword?
Yeah. Well, it literally makes a sound like a church bell when he hits.
Bong,
The-
bong.
Yeah, it literally does. Mithril rings, you know.
Almost like a tuning fork.
Yep.
Yeah. Yay, Rowan finally managed to get on Twitch. Woot.
All right.
All right, yes, he's out. Next, it was 21, right?
22 for me.
22, you're up.
All right. Well, brain matter goes flying as Arian spins up the speed.
Yep, and the Mulinex machine begins. It slices, it dices, and it makes julienne fries out of your friends in 10 seconds. Well, 2 seconds, actually, but...
It's more like hamburger and stewing meat.
Yeah.
Only one crit threat.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Flat-footed and surprise.
Mhm.
Okay, so my first attack is a 26. My second attack is a 25. My third attack is also a 25 and a possible crit.
Mhm.
And my fourth attack is only a 16, but given that they're not generally dexterous, that's probably good enough for a flat.
Yep.
Yeah,
It is.
and they're flat-footed, so
Yep.
I
All
wanted
right.
to confirm my one. That's a 21.
Yep, that confirms. So, that's a slashing one, right?
Yeah, all of them are slashing or piercing.
Okay.
Either way, I stick them in that slice.
Hack and slash, double damage, and all critical threats against the target automatically confirmed for the next 3 rounds. Now, where did you get that? That was like your third shot or your second shot where you got that threat?
That was my third shot.
That's your third shot, and you had a total of 4, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the 4th shot counts as a critical hit as well.
No, because I didn't thread. It doesn't.
no, he doesn't ask to confirm threats. It means if he rolls another threat, it's
Oh,
automatic.
okay. Phew.
The next 3 rounds.
All right. Yeah, 3
Which means-
rounds. But that means starting from that point, right? So yeah, okay. So all critical threats automatically confirm against the target for the next 3 rounds, and that attack it with double damage.
9, 14, 18, 23, plus 36 is 59, plus an additional 9 for the crit. 68.
Jesus Christ.
That'd probably take out about a 9th level fighter.
Yeah, is that everything, by the way, all together?
Yeah,
Or is
that's
it
all of it.
68 for that one attack?
No, that's all of it.
That's all of it. Okay.
Bam, 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 bam.
Well, he does have to make a system shock check, right? Because
It's fortitude
Well,
save.
fortitude
No,
save.
because no one hit was probably
Yeah,
half
no
his
one
hit
was one hit was more than half his hit points. So
Ah, okay.
That's the problem with this crit build, is that it's lots of damage but not one massive hit.
right.
Right. Okay, these guys are pretty tough. It does not take him down, but he is fucked up. There's a roar of pain.
Kick him. You have more limbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so 21 was next.
That would be Vonvin.
Okay.
She'll just lay a cloud of seasickness down that stairwell on her starboard side. Fuck you, climb those stairs now, assholes.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Good one. Okay, the dirty 20 is me. Right?
Yes. Ew. I hope it's Nimlin and not me who has to clean the gore off the bug suits.
Now remember, Celine warned you, so you can make a reflex save.
Yep.
Right? Celine throws down her flashbang grenade. Bam! Woo! Light everywhere.
I rolled a natural 20.
Vonvin was absolutely not looking even remotely in that direction
Yep.
because she was face down the stairwell,
Yeah, you're
filling
right.
it full
I
of
won't,
nausea.
I won't make you make a roll, actually. You're absolutely right.
Nimlin's, or sorry, not Nimlin, but Nimlin's facing the other way because he's going at the captain.
Nope,
blowing
you're
the
right in the
goblin's head.
middle of it. Sorry.
Okay, well, I rolled a 19.
Okay.
So what's your DC?
About 17.
Sorry, it was a 19 on the die. So 28.
So Arian's like, ah!
You rolled less than 17, eh?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 on the dice.
Oh, Jesus. I'll re-roll that. Don't need Arian getting beat to death.
What are we rolling? Survival or something?
Fortitude save.
Reflex.
Reflex.
Save.
Reflex save,
To
sorry.
see if you cover your eyes before Celine slams down the flashbang
This time I
But
get
she
a 3.
warned people about.
that she warned people about.
So
You
this
got
time I
what?
I didn't mean to, Magpie. I'm sorry.
I rolled a 17.
Okay, good enough.
Get, Arian's still blind.
Still failed.
Try again.
27 for Crowley.
Right.
What for Crowley? Sorry?
27 for Crowley.
Yeah, no worries. Yep, reroll came in for Arian.
Alright, so I got a 17 this time.
You made it.
Okay.
Arian's like, dazzles him for a second.
Yeah.
He blinks out the...
He was like, oh, right, she told me about the fucking flashbang. Yeah. Yeah, then she uses the remainder of her turn to skitter over to the passage. On the starboard side. Or on the port, yeah, on the starboard side, yeah.
No, port.
No, you were right, to port side, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay, what's anyone at 19?
Yes, Crowley.
Okay.
Okay, so sneak up behind this yeoman and absolutely botch it.
Absolutely botch it?
I'll
Yeah.
reroll.
Okay. A tiny bit better. Yeah, I rolled a 3 second time.
Okay, is that
Okay, well,
total?
it didn't watch.
Okay, no, we have 2 re-rolls. You may re-roll one more time.
Okay. Oh. 2. Ooh, a 10, so it becomes a 14.
That's probably good enough.
Yes, that certainly is.
Alright, well,
All right.
I'm
Yes.
gonna rip his throat out.
Yeah, and you certainly are. You're a rogue, are you not?
No.
No, I am not, but definitely is a fish killer.
You have sneak attack, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sneak attack doesn't. With sneak attack, with my psionics.
Stealth
No.
of 20.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, Crowley. I did not hear you. Can you repeat?
I have a stealth of 20. That's before I roll in. So,
Yeah, he has no clue that he's there.
Yep. No, he's totally oblivious. Your sneak attack definitely applies.
You get an extra 2d6.
alright. 13 points.
That's probably good enough.
Yeah. Dead as a fucking doornail. How did you? What did you hit him with? Like your claws?
My claws, I wrapped it around his throat and just
I'll just throw it out.
Yeah, so blood pours out like paint and he gurgles and falls to the ground. You are now visible.
Yes.
but the blood flowed away from me because I was behind him. So
Yes.
no harm, no foul. Maybe a couple of drops on me on my hand.
Yeah.
You can clean that.
Other than goblin brain bits in your fur from, exploding goblin head.
Oh, other side of the ship.
Yeah, cries of alarm begin to go up now. Is there anyone else left to go, and what's your initiative at? Oh yes, Yasma, right?
Yeah, 12.
Okay,
I'm the
you're up.
last one to go up. Okay,
Make an attack roll.
an attack roll. Okay, so I'm going to fly as fast as I can and attack that cable.
Okay,
I
so
rolled
hold on before you do. Do you have power attack?
Power attack,
Yes, as a feat.
As a feat.
defeat. No, I don't.
Okay, these guys said do as much damage as possible. One of the ways in which you can do that is use power attack, and it reduces the accuracy of your strike in return for more damage, right? You should probably think about taking it at some point
Yeah.
with the style of fighter that you are, but yeah, fair enough. Okay,
Okay. So I rolled a 15, and my attack bonus is plus 13. Says
Okay.
here.
So
So that's
28.
28.
You hit. About armor class 10.
Pardon?
It's about armor class 10. You do double damage for a charge. Unless the GM decides you do even more damage than that because of speed.
Okay.
I don't know. How would you work that, dear?
I'd give her triple damage. She's going really fast. I'd also raise the armor class of the thing to hit it to about 15, but she rolled that. So,
Yep. Okay, sure. I'm willing to do
so
that.
you roll your damage 3 times. Right? So what's your damage normally?
My damage with the scimitar is 1d6 plus 3.
1d6 plus 3, so you roll 3d6 plus 9.
Okay. Give me a second here. The 19.
19 total?
Yeah.
Okay, you subtract 8 from it because it's a metal object.
Yep, damage reduction. Mhm.
Yeah, so you did 11 points. I doubt that our cable has 11 hit points. It's got about 2. Based on its thickness.
Yeah, if it were a really thick rope, maybe 5, but
Yeah.
it should be more than enough. Twang!
And then she should make a reflex save.
Yeah, make a reflex save. Fly quickly.
Okay. 27.
Okay.
Good, you managed to get the fuck out of there before basically the thing sort of like implodes on itself. Yeah.
It sort of half implodes and then explodes.
Yeah.
Folds in on itself and then bam! Pieces of fucking ballista fly everywhere.
Yeah. All right, make reflexes saves, everyone else. By everyone else, I mean everyone else on the Dreadnought. Clearly, if you are on another ship, you are not in danger of getting
Well,
hit by
I'm
flak.
probably there. I rolled a total of 9.
Yeah, you're kind of fucked.
Hang on.
Ooh,
That has to be reflex.
Celine botched completely.
Well, sorry, Captain. You're rerolling.
Okay.
12, 13, 14, 15. 15 for Vonvin.
Okay,
7 Crowley.
7 for Crawley.
We're doing good, Crowley. All right, Xerxes.
Yeah, to be fair,
Oh,
actually,
that's-
Crowley is probably going to take less damage anyway. He's considerably farther away from the ballista.
And smaller and a lot of bodies in between him.
Yeah.
And that's
And
right.
I am-
Zarian's helping to absorb the damage too, because I rolled a total of 11.
Yeah, we're helping to absorb the damage.
Or
Okay,
play a beat
so
shield.
I see a bunch of re-rolls being thrown. Siobhan re-rolled for me. Who is Daz re-rolling for? And Siobhan, who are you re-rolling for in the second time? Oh, Daz says Ruvel re-roll.
Okay, Rovel re-rolls and rolls worse than he did before. He rolls an 8.
I guess it's still Rubo. I can throw another one up for Arian.
Yep.
And I botched.
Rubo, why?
And you've already had 2.
And that's 2.
Yep.
I
so
can't
you're
help
fucked.
you.
Yep, that's it.
I rolled a 3.
Unless
a 2, and
Crowley
a 1.
lucks you.
That's true.
Unless Crowley lucks you.
I think he can only do himself, can he?
No, he can do any one person once per day.
That's true. Crowley could save your ass. He is the only one who can.
Yeah, I'll help you out there.
Okay, I'll try again.
Oh, I only got a 14.
No!
Did you botch
I rolled
again?
another one.
That is hilarious. All right.
The dice are just determined, man.
Fate
You
has
fail.
determined that Ruvel is going to suffer today.
Yep.
Well, it's about time you guys got some serious goddamn injuries, so I'm okay with that. Moving on. I see a bunch of other rerolls here. I see
Arian.
for Arian, okay? Yep, dice
Right,
jail.
3, 2, 1, 1.
I rolled a 17 this time, so
You're
So
fine.
you're doing good.
I rolled a 14.
You're fine too.
Okay.
Vonvin had a 15,
You're fine.
and if 14's good, she's good.
Okay, by fine I mean that you're basically saving for half damage here, guys. Right? There's
Oh,
no
okay.
way to avoid all the fucking damage.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exploding toothpicks that are traveling at like Mach speed.
Mach speeds.
You're gonna get hurt. The question is how bad.
unless
I'd say
you're
I did
rogue,
about
and-
5d6 damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crowley, you were rolling for full avoidance, right? Because you have cover.
Yeah.
But at 7, you don't make it. Does anyone want to re-roll for Crowley?
It was 17, not 7.
Oh, it was 17. Okay, never mind. You're fine. You take no damage, Crowley, at all.
Yeah. The body that
Especially-
you're riding down to the ground fucking absorbed all the impact.
especially if he has evasion, he can just dance in the toothpicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, however, that with a botch roll on this one, I imagine
damage.
that you are likely to suffer a critical effect.
Okay.
Okay.
He could have thrown himself in front of the captain.
Yeah, that could be. Maybe he wasn't, let his balls
No, I
get
threw
in the way of
myself
his
in front of the admiral.
Yeah.
We
didn't
want him
damage the
alive.
Good. He didn't use his or put his balls in the way of his brains. That's good because
Right.
yes, the last reroll was not needed. Does it save until the end of the stream? Yes, Daz, it does. Once the stream is over, it's done, but it will last until the end of the stream. All right, so we need 5d6 is what we need.
No,
Dig out your Star Wars dice.
Yes, that's exactly it. All the d6s that I have carefully put aside for Star Wars.
D6s I've ever loved before.
Oh yes, I should probably see
Actually-
if the Admiral succeeds, eh? Oh yeah. And the
I
captain.
threw myself in front of him.
Right, okay, so the Admiral's fine. The captain has to roll.
It's that's what you can use is you can have as many rerolls as you want to use up, but it's only 2 rerolls per person per action.
Alright here.
2 rerolls per action. It doesn't matter who does them. But you can only ever do 1 per action.
Yeah, you can only cast 1 per action.
Alright, so 5d6. Oh. I'm like gathering d6s in front of me and not paying attention to how many there are. Okay. Oh, you guys are having a good night. Okay, 10, 16, 17 points only is the full damage. So half damage is 9. Really shitty roll on that. Anybody want to re-roll the damage for the bad guy? Explosion of the... Yeah, probably not, eh?
No. But I get an eye crit.
Bob left.
Yes, you do. Would you care to eye crit for yourself, or do you want me
No,
to
I
do
don't
it?
have it on my phone at the moment.
Okay, I shall eye crit for you. This is piercing damage, I would say.
Yep.
Pinned arm, double damage, and one arm cannot move. DC
Okay.
20 strength or heal check to be freed. So basically what happens is one big splinter...
Big splinter chunks through his arm and pins him to the deck.
Yep, and pins him to the fucking deck.
On top of the Admiral, who's unconscious.
Yep.
Yeah, actually. Okay. And double damage of 17 is 34. Right?
Yeah.
Ow.
That's not half my hit points, so.
That's good. All right. So, that is the end of the round. So, flashing back to the Void Chaser.
Yep.
What is Xerxes doing?
Bringing her around behind the fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, then he's going to signal with his radio, basically, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
to the rest of them, saying, I'm behind the enemy fleet when you guys break off.
Copy that. Or Av says that's probably they don't do radio protocols. They have never had radio protocols.
Yeah. Yep. And then he's going to look for people retreating backwards.
Yeah, Dazzlecat yells, "Ahoy, Commander! We got a wounded officer!" And points over to the dreadnought. Remember that on board the Voice Chaser, you guys can yell, scream, talk freely, throw shit. It doesn't matter because your air is only around your ship, and until that air touches another ship's air, they will not hear a goddamn thing. Sound does not travel in space.
You bring her up close so they can get the people across.
Okay?
All right. Tell them that I'll open fire as soon as they're heading back.
Rescue party is ready with tin hats deployed, sir, says Dazzlecat.
Daz, I want you to go grab that officer and the prisoner and bring them back here. Take 3 people.
Chat crew's time to shine. Yes, sir. Rescue squad, advance.
Do I hear this over the bug suit comms?
Yep.
Yep.
Guys, when you get here, deploy your potions to cover yourselves and Luravel, who's the injured party, and the Admiral, who's our captain. That should be all 5 of your potions.
Yeah, Dragon Bagpie's like, yeah, that's not Nimlin, that's me. Noted, sir, says Daz. All right, so who is going with Daz? She has been directed to take 3 people? That means she gets to choose
The other bug suits.
She'd already said Isong and Moon would be with her. Sorry.
Daz will choose whatever people have bug suits that Daz chooses.
You know what I'm saying? She'd already said
There's
they
Moon
were.
and 2 bug suit crew, she says.
Probably
Do the other chat members not have...
Magpie does.
Doesn't Magpie have a bug suit?
Yeah, Magpie has a bug suit.
Oh yeah.
So
Right.
does
Well,
Esau.
Nimmerlin does not have one, apparently.
Oh. Why not?
because we
Well.
issued them to the other people.
God damn it. Okay. Okay, Esong and Dragon Magpie don't have bug suits, so.
They joined crew after we got fitted.
Right.
And Esong is not here yet.
Just bring 3 or 2 other Marines with you, Daz.
And Moon.
Oh, I'm disappointed because I wanted Magpie to be able to, like, get in the fight.
Maybe someone loaned her their suit.
They're personally fitted, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. And you're right, she did join after, unfortunately, and we haven't had a chance to get more suits. So unfortunately, it's not realistic to the story.
Yeah, Alisander's a good one to take with you.
Alisander does outrank you, but you have been told that you can take whoever.
Yeah.
And he does have healing, so...
Mm-hmm.
But won't that
And a suit.
But won't that leave the entire mid bay on the ship unmanned?
That's the other problem, yes, but Xerxes did not think of that.
No, well, they're coming back with the
Right.
injured. So,
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so Daz chooses Aiden and Alisander.
Moon,
one more
Alisander,
Bugsuit
and one more
Marine.
bug suit Marine. Okay.
No.
Can he fly in space? No.
No, he can't fly in space. Sorry.
Well, he could if he grabbed one of these stupid medallions.
He could hitch a ride on the shark.
Yep.
Yes, he could.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Karak is gonna stay on the Void Chaser now that he's gotten access to get it to the other one, and Germany is not, or area is not there to tell him no.
Actually, I'd tell him to stay in the cabin during combat. I'm not willing to.
He's just a baby, guys.
Yeah, it's not like he's
Yeah.
a full-grown, you know, great white star shark.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a baby.
Yeah. I want an invocation to make him fly in space eventually. Well, what you could do is you could get
That's
something called
possible.
a star metal talisman for him.
And it's possible to get an invocation too. A warlock invocation that would allow him to fly in space. Yes.
Both are possible. Okay, so you guys take off. Moon chooses Alisander. He says, Av Marine, I'll come along then. Yep. He summons his suit and you guys head over. That happens really quickly at this distance. So I think that it would be fair to get you to roll initiative. And everyone else roll initiative. We are at new round.
The initiatives stay the same.
Do they? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they do. Okay, so everyone else who is joining the combat now gets to roll initiative. Right? This will basically determine when you arrive at the ship at this point in the course of this combat round. You will, you do not get an attack action, but if you get instant actions or anything like that, you may use them. Okay. And I have to roll for, do I have to roll for either one of them? The captain is now
Alisander.
dead because He didn't have
Yeah,
enough
he's
hit points
dead.
left after he got hit full force with the fucking flak from the... Yeah, that's the other thing. There were two big splinters, like they were, you know, about that fucking long that came out of the remains of the ballista. One of them pinned Ruvel to the deck, and it's about that thick too, right? And the,
Yep.
you know, so like a steak almost, right? The other one shot right through the fucking head of the captain, and he fell down to the deck.
Well done, Magpie. Reroll Daz.
Yep. Any roll.
Yeah.
Um. 7
9
plus
for
2 is
Daz.
9 for Daz, okay. Alessander rolls and gets 16. And, let's see. There's a random marine. You can roll for the random marine if you want, or we can have Dragon Magpie run the random marine. Which would be more fun for Magpie, I think. Would you like to do that?
See hearts. So go Magpie.
Yeah, we know Aiden's
Moon is
not
not
here.
here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so
so
you have
someone's
to
got to
for
roll for Moon as well.
I'll roll for Aiden.
Okay. Nice. Dragon Magpie runs to the room and dice. Yee! Great.
Now I gotta check.
Shiny math.
So is ye short for yes? And you just did an extra E instead of an S? Or did you forget the T on yeet?
Or is it short for Yippee?
I think that was a scream of excitement, personally. That was how I read it.
Yeah.
Which is great. Who doesn't want to throw down the dice?
Yeah, we don't have Stretch here itching to roll dice for once.
19.
Yeah,
Look
he
at
was
that.
here.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
there he is. He must
19
be
for
snoozed.
Rando and 13 for Moon. Don't know the mods.
Okay. I was just gonna look up the mods for
We'll
Aiden?
give the Rando plus 2, so the Rando has 21 because an elf has a pretty averagely high dexterity, right? And I don't know what it is for Aiden, but if you're looking it up, great.
I'm trying to.
Stretch is awfully quiet tonight. He must be nappy.
Stretch? Yeah, he obviously fell asleep in the black hole.
Yep.
He warned us he
That
might.
black hole fills.
Well, considering how late it is for him, and he probably worked his tail off today, I don't blame him.
Yeah. I mean, it is almost 2 o'clock in the morning his time, isn't it?
No, it's almost 4 o'clock.
Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning his time, that's right.
5
Yeah.
in the morning.
Oh, 5 a.m. Yeah, he's sleeping.
It's 4:40 or 4:38 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
He'll
I find.
wake up and he'll be like, you know, in the closet forge.
Alright. So then. Let's see, is there anybody left alive on this deck who can react? Yes, right. No, probably not, because there were a random goblin, right? And the
Random
2
goblins.
people who were standing right next to that ballista.
Hmm?
So
Ballista crew. Boom.
they went to shit. So the only people who can react are the crew on the rest of the ship. So, okay, so the downstairs crew gets, alright, and the crew on the,
Castle.
fuck. Yeah, catapult gets, okay, and the crew on the crew in the middle deck there, fuck the name, the upper deck, with the mainmast and message, and the yeoman where Crowley is gets. And. Okay.
So, initiative for Moon is a +2.
Okay, so with 13, that puts Moon at 15. Me, IRL, hurry and pee dog, I'm getting wet. Yes.
Yep.
Alright, we're back at 24. Madrimlian.
Well,
Okay, you blew up the head of the psionic goblin. You have no one left to attack on deck. Celine is defending the port. Ruavel is injured.
I know that we have a rescue crew coming over for Ruavel.
Yes?
Fine. I'm taking one of my booms. Let's bring it onto the lower deck.
Which lower deck? Like down one of the passages?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that's going to go off under our feet, right?
No, I thought. I thought we were in the stern castle. So I thought there's like a railing, isn't there?
Oh, you're throwing it down over the front railing onto the main deck.
Right.
Where Crowley is.
Yeah, we're Crowley.
Oh, frick! No, I'm not. Well, I'll stay at the railing. And I'm just gonna mind blast them. Not mind blast, but
Psychic or mind thrust.
no. Mental disruption.
Yeah, lock that one.
Who are you mentally disrupting?
The main deck, or as much of it as I can.
It's a big burst area.
Yep.
How far away can you throw it?
Short range, I believe. 25 feet plus 5 feet for every 2 levels.
10 feet.
Then you can't reach.
It only goes 10 feet?
It's 10 feet, but I can increase
No, but
the
it goes
range.
down, right? The castle, down area. That counts as part of the feat, right?
Yeah.
So, nope, you cannot reach.
Fine. Who looks to be the next in command? Who is the bosun?
Probably on the main deck.
Make an intelligence check.
$18 total.
Yeah, or you could roll, profession sailor, that would have worked too. So if that gives you a higher modifier, that's fine.
It does. 23.
23. Okay, yes. Likely the guy who is bellowing from the bowels of the ship, "Get your asses up there! We're clearly under attack! Move!"
Well, I can't hit him. He's in the bowels of the ship. I can't see him.
You can hear him
if
because
you are
there
doing-
are 2 open passages that go down to the lower decks. And you can hear noise coming out of it. If it's screaming, you can hear it. Now I would like you to make a wits check, please. Like a wisdom check.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I can hear it. I can't see the guy to target him. Is what I'm saying.
That's true.
You could ready an action to blast
That's what-
whoever's the first up the stairs by Celine.
Yeah, I could do that.
What was your wisdom check result?
My wisdom check result was a 16.
Yeah, see, it might actually be smart to go and relieve Celine, who took the job that you were supposed to do, so that she can go do the job she's supposed to do and heal the fucking wounded crewman.
Yep. And that's what he'll do.
Ready
Captain?
in action.
I got this.
She nods
Well-
and heads out, or gives you a quick clap on the shoulder and goes, "Yeah." And she can't have given the order until it was her turn.
Yep.
Right? So. Next.
Rubel.
Okay.
Rubel's gonna try and unpin himself from the deck. Pull this fucking thing out.
You know you risk more damage when you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the natural 20.
Did you really?
Yep.
And did you steal my dice, Aaron?
I know.
I know, right? You guys have totally switched dice tonight, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, my dice are like all over the place. They're like good and bad and ugly.
Yeah, mine are usually either really high or really low. That's
Yep.
the way my dice usually roll.
Yep.
Yep. That's what happened to me.
And so Magpie, Aiden is, or Moon is a ranger.
Do they fight more as an archer or with double weapons?
I'm just checking that.
Okay.
I'm betting Archer. Because Ranger is Moon's favored player class.
Yeah, I think it's an archer.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But they haven't filled that person out yet. Because I don't see the feats on their stats, so.
The Magpie's asking if there's a sheet that she can look at.
Actually, it's on the World Anvil, Toy Soldier Saga. Go to the Toy Soldiers Old School, and it's Private Aiden Moonflower, or Aiden Moonflower.
Can you just drop the link in the chat for him?
Yeah, I can. That would help. Why am I doing it the hard way?
Right.
I'm not thinking today,
is
sorry.
It's an average day for you.
Yeah, obviously you are under caffeinated.
Obviously. There we go. There you go, Magpie. Okay, so you pull out the fucking wooden stake. Taking an additional, I think that's probably 1d3, right? So 3 points of damage unless somebody rerolls
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'll re-roll that, because you can only get less.
Okay, for an additional 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and you do pull it free. Blood
Use the
sputters out.
adrenaline. Use the adrenaline from that to pick up the Admiral and start heading back to the ship with them.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Heading
I forgot that
towards
had
the rescue crew.
Oh, wait, I had a reroll waiting, says Daz, but too late. Don't worry, I'm sure it will be needed.
Yeah, it will be needed.
Okay. Yeah, it uses the adrenaline to head towards the rescue crew, grabbing the captain. I think
The
that's
Admiral.
the admiral, right? So that probably, how do you? I imagine that's a willpower check. Willpower being wisdom, right?
Will save.
Will save. All right, make a will save.
23.
Okay, you succeed. So yeah, you're like, "Ah!" And away you go. Blood's like running down your arm like somebody dumped over a can of paint.
Yep.
Okay. Where was I? 23, 22.
That would be me. How many guys are up on deck at the moment?
There is absolutely no enemy currently on the aft castle.
I mean, on deck.
On
Like,
deck?
below us in the forecastle. Anybody
Yes, that's
pulling ranged weapons?
1 moment, and I will tell you. Hi, Kitty. What would you like? He's here to inform me it's dinner time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Half an hour, sweet. He's like, really?
10 minutes.
Oh, that's true. Guess we better finish this fight pretty quick, eh?
Yeah.
Get off my keyboard. Absolutely not are you allowed on my keyboard. I will beat you.
So that might be the one that sent me a message in
Is it
Discord last
tail?
night?
Yeah, I
across the
saw that.
screen.
It totally was one or the other of them. I don't know which one.
As a tail across the screen there.
Yep. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, alright, so there are a total of... Yeah, that's officers enlisted in Marines in order, so... And they were, like, prepared for war, so there's, like... up to 80 regular crew and up to 140 Marines. I think that is no, that's... problem is I can't see the top of this document here, so I don't remember which colors. No, okay, no, I was right. That's right. On a dreadnought. So, right, there are... I mean, I basically just used your measurements there, dear, when I put this together. So how many people did you figure would be needed on deck between sails, crew, and weaponry? Like, how many weapons do they have?
Probably about 10 aside.
That's what I figured. Okay, so 10 aside, so...
Probably 3 men per crew, per weapon.
Uh-huh.
So 20, 60 crew for weapons. Right, probably 20, 25 more for sail crew and 120 Marines.
Okay.
So about 200 people.
So way too many. I'm gonna order the retreat.
Yeah.
Does the main backstay look like it took damage when the ballista blew up?
Yes. There is a significant portion of the rear rail that is missing. And
the main backstay, the line that runs from the stern to
Oh!
the mast and keeps it upright.
Ah, yes. How lucky are you? I don't know. You roll how lucky you are.
19.
Probably should roll how lucky we are.
Crowley already used his change luck once a day.
I rolled
Right?
a 19.
Yep, he
You
rolled a
said roll.
19. Yes, it was trashed. The mast is coming down.
All right. Are any of the rat lines or anything helping to hold it up? And
Yes.
which way is it falling?
Yeah, it's like... Because it's
Alright.
actually, it's kind of going like this, right? Because if this were... Let's see here. I need to illustrate, right? Because
It'll fall forward.
yeah, the mainstay that, the rear... Yeah, that's the part that blew up, so, it's springed off into the universe. So it's kind of tilting this way, but it's leaning, like, towards the bow, right? But it's kind of wobbling port and starboard as the ship moves and the other, the other stays are there, right? So,
Alright.
yeah.
I'm going to cut stays while everybody else gets ready to go off.
Yep, and yell. Xerxes yells to Crowley, "Get the fuck out of there!" Crowley, get the fuck out of there!
Alright. I'll fly upward as fast as I can as soon as it's my turn.
Okay, yeah, alright, so he cuts the stays.
Yeah, I get at least a 10 on all 4 of my dice. And
Yeah, no problem.
I do plus 9 on the end, so.
Yeah, no problem. Snap! Snap! Yeah.
Yeah, since that target you would have gotten the confirmed crits on, we're all dead anyway.
All right, making a long story short at this point, because the first bad guys get to go now, and those are the ones that were under the deck, right? The lower decks. They run into Vonvin's cloud of fucking toxic poison and start hacking up and puking, right? Nobody else gets to go until after all the characters have gone, except for, I think, Yasma, right? So basically, you all fucking bail. The only one who could possibly do anything is too busy dealing with the falling mast to attack Yasma. You're out of there.
And I stayed to cut stays, so I'd go after Yasma at the beginning
Yeah.
of the next round.
Yeah.
The rescue crew hits you.
Yeah, just pass off the admiral to them. All right. He says, "I'm bleeding out. Get me back to the ship. I'm fucked." He says.
Yep. Alessander,
Yeah, pull off my arm piece.
no, you can't. Well, yeah, you can, right? You have a talisman.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that Alessander can deal with the injury at least, so I'm not going to bleed out.
Yeah, it's very interesting. He opens up his, pulls off the arm piece of the bug suit, and you see, the blood kind of splashes away from his body about the distance of an aura. Then it turns into globules of red and floats off.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the rest of the rescue crew cover the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Start blasting, spells or whatever else at, the enemy, as it were.
Oh, we're leaving?
Yeah.
I'm tossing 2 booms down the stairs and taking off.
Okay, so basically you're waiting until it's you and Arian and you look at him with your booms kind of thing?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Reflex save. Both of you.
Reflex is the lonely child.
Yep, Dazzle
Nat
Cat
20.
is there with her boat hook. Nice.
23.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys. Pew! Yeah, the mast is just starting to come down as the things go boom. I forgot what
Fucked
kind of
them, fucking near
damage.
killed them.
I forgot what kind of damage that did.
It's the booms, 10d6.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
Hit your Star Wars dice.
Yeah, actually, that's perfect. Moon has arrow. She is pew pew. Rando, the man, hits people and looks hot. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Daz
Rando the elf. It's short for Rambo.
Yeah, Daz says, is Ruvel about to pass out? I have the canis to use as a gurney wrap.
Yeah, he'll let him carry him.
Yeah, perfect, says Alessander. Good thinking. Yep. Yeah,
Now the adrenaline's wearing off, so.
Yeah, Alessander does heal. Moon has heal. Yes, by all means, have Moon use their healing spells. I think it's what? We have Cure Serious at our level, right?
True critical. 48 plus your level.
48 plus your level, okay. But chat crew, not so much, right?
No.
I don't think Moon has a heal spell right now, but she does have the heal. They do have the heal proficiency.
Proficiency, yeah. Skill.
All right, make the heal
Yeah, I was gonna say-
proficiency. That's still useful here.
She critted.
She critted.
Or they critted, I'm not sure with. Dragon.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, Daz gets Rouvel on the canvas, which is then tied to heroic boat hook like a space travois. Brilliant. Yeah, Alessander's nodding his approval. Aiden, who gets there, of course, before Alessander, will say, hey, why not? Says, oh, hey, yeah, this artery's severed here, just a second, and puts pressure on it. Right? The blood stops spewing out in big globules. Right? So that's successfully stabilizing. Hand laying goes on. Chat crew is really coming in handy, guys. Okay, 46 plus, or 48 plus what?
9.
Right.
I'm only level 8.
We're level 9 now.
Oh,
We
fuck, I
leveled
forgot
up
to level.
last fifth game session.
Right,
Yeah,
I
said I
forgot.
was going to do this time, and I didn't, and I forgot to mention it, so my
And
bad.
Alessander's above us in level anyway, isn't he?
That's
Yeah,
true.
he's about your level now.
Yep, you guys
You
caught
guys
up,
caught up to
basically.
him. He might be
Okay.
10th level.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so... Sorry, I'm going to re-roll because I lost track because we were doing something else. 8 and 10 is 18 plus 9 is
27.
27.
Okay. That's pretty good. I got about 8 points of damage left.
Yeah, so Aiden stabilized him. Alessander got there to lay on the heal magic. Right? Celine looks around, going over there. She's like ready to heal, but she sees they've got a well in hand.
He smiles at her with that "I'm fine" look on his face.
Yeah. I'm fine, owie, 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 right? Yeah. Brilliant. Yep, random bug suit marine must carry the admiral. Exactly.
Yep.
Right? And you guys fucking book it.
The other
you're-
2 Muggsy Marines carry the Admiral across.
You guys are far too far out for any regular missile fire like arrows and shit from the crew to hit you. And it's nearly impossible to hit you at this distance with ballistae,
Siege
although they
weapon.
do try.
You fire some siege weapons at us, eh?
Uh-huh.
Assholes.
Uh-huh. Bastards, says Celine.
With their mass crashing down on top of them.
Yeah.
Bad.
Vonvin says they're lucky that we
basically-
don't have some way that, you know, Daz's canvas is in use. We could use it to catch one of those and we'll just, like, fling it back behind bug suit propulsion.
Daz just had the same idea you did, Rowan. Actually, that's quite hilarious. You guys don't. Yeah, I mean restock our ammo. Well, the truth is that it's really kind of interesting. You know that ballista and catapults cannot actually fire like real life ballista and catapults in space, right? Because they
Right.
would never hit a fucking thing. Spaceships are moving too fast and have to be in order for space combat to work. So my justification for it was basically they get wound up by the gravitational forces of the starfaring engine, right? So they travel about as fast as you do, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you want to chase them for a bit.
Faster with the propulsion of the ship, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's true. They probably would go a little faster. You're right, because they're already... So it's like some weird relativistic speed. And therefore, what it looks like is a streak of light. Until it hits. Right? Because technically it's traveling faster than light speed. Yeah,
Oh, for an anti-magic wall and a bunch of pebble to boulders, or boulder to pebbles.
can we develop a tractor beam to capture them? I figured somebody would develop that kind of stuff. but we'll have to see, right? I'm really trying not to turn this into Star Trek. You know, I'm trying to maintain an Age of Sail feel, so I'm like, right? But I mean, to some degree, that's inevitable too, right? There is a mild force field effect of having an etheric membrane. It's not a really powerful one, but it does exist. Things can deflect when they hit your air, you know?
Ruvel tells the rando Marines to put the Admiral in the captain's quarters, disarm him, and lay him out on the bed.
Harry, don't call to Xerxes and tell him to hold fire.
Yep.
Because, you know, we don't need to try to absorb the entire port broadside of the fleet.
Right.
Their starboard broadside shooting at our fleet.
Yeah. No, Xerxes is just going to remain quiet.
Yep.
Remember, the ship's invisible.
Visible, right? He guides you guys in. Left, left, left. Okay, straight ahead.
Warmer. No, colder. Warmer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, landing on an invisible ship's a trick.
You just
Okay,
have to stay in
Banshee.
the general vicinity.
Decide you want to finally come see Mom, huh?
Yes, Magpie, you can keep Rando. I don't see why not. It's fun.
Hey guys, we gotta get
Rando the Marine.
tomorrow.
Night.
Yep.
Night, Dawn.
Okay, good night. Thank you.
Night.
Night, guys.
Fight's
Hey,
over,
before
so
you-
we're good.
Before you go, Dawn, and
Yeah?
we level up this week.
Yep,
Okay.
we level up this week, so
If
ninth
you
level,
come by,
right?
I'll help you guys level up your characters.
Okay, I'll give you a shout.
Okay, and that of
Yeah.
course means for those of you in the audience, next game session is a raffle. That's how
Yep.
that works. We level up, you get a raffle. So don't miss it. All right, I think this is a good place to call it.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun for me, even though you guys spoiled almost all of my plans. But I had a great time.
Does our chat crew get a level too?
Yes, chat crew can also have a level. They were intrinsic to this success.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like that one of the players finally got a serious goddamn injury. That's always fun for the DM.
Yep.
I keep just about killing my party in Wayreth.
Did you?
Oh, we didn't game this Saturday, but the last one, yep. 2 players hit the ground.
I don't like TPKs, but I do enjoy some serious goddamn injuries. And to be honest, it's kind of hard to do in this game because we
Yeah.
have the rerolls, right?
Yeah, well, you can get really bad luck like mine and get 4 rolls and the highest thing's a 3.
Yes, which is fun.
What do you want?
So that's good. I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. It really was going to be a matter of luck as to whether or not Admiral Celestis was smart enough to go, you know what, let's just let these guys do what they do, because clearly they're working out, doing what they do, or whether he was going to go, nope, we're going to treat you like a regular frigate in the line of battle. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's
Well,
kind
they
of...
find out that we captured the Admiral.
Yeah, and you know what? You guys actually seriously fucked up that dreadnought too.
God, yeah.
Not at all a thing to, that's no small matter. Dreadnoughts are huge expenditures of resources, and they are very important to a line of battle. You have put a big weakness right down their center now, which I am not going to forget, because they cannot do fuck all with that ship. Basically, the aft castle blew into space, right? And the rear mast is, the aft mast is done a timber, and so,
That probably took out a bunch of the cross stays and the yard arms and stuff as it came down on the other 2 masts. So.
Mhm.
Yep, not to mention a good deal of the, like the Jaboom is gone and, yeah, things are really kind of fucked. They're not going anywhere. Right?
Good job.
Yep. Well, that's why I went after the stays, was to help that mass come down.
Yep. Very, very well.
And then Madrimlian dumped charges.
Yep. Strategically fought, guys. You did a great job. Right? That's what happens when smart people work together and outsmart the bad guys, and I really don't have any problems with that, so that's great.
Oh.
All right. Wait, was that all 10 charges? I don't think so.
No.
No, just 2.
Just 2.
Madrimlian only chucked 2 down into the hold. If he'd done all 10, there wouldn't be anything left of that thing, I don't think, after the catapult explosion.
Yeah, that
It'd be half a ship.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so level up for next time. Daz says, Aaron, on your next stream, can you help us chat crew level up?
Yeah, you bet. Tuesday.
That may not be Tuesday because you're going to be likely in Vancouver.
Right.
It might be Friday.
Right. It'll be Friday.
Yeah.
My next stream. Yeah.
8 left and 4 in the stern cache for the booms. Correct.
Had this been ISW2, we might have fought our way to the magazine and then back out, but
yeah,
possibly. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to put this to an end. We're going to put up the end screen now, and who's online for us to raid?
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Good night. Let's see, I have up at the moment for rating for writing or gaming streams. I have Coffee. I have Full Riot, who is still doing their stream. I have
Forge is up.
Yeah, Forge is up. Chaotica's up. Storygirl is up, and Storygirl has said happy coming international coming out day, which will be in 3 hours for those of us on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, I did read Full Riot earlier today, but they are doing a long charity stream to benefit the Canadian Mental Health Association, because today is like International Mental Health Day or something, right? And then tomorrow or today, if you are before us, it is International Coming Out Day. So I could go either way, guys. I don't think we ever raid Storygirl. I think we'll raid Storygirl because we already raided Full Riot earlier today. So then, Toy Soldiers Old School is game mastered by Sable Erodia, created by Diane Morrison. Audio and video provided by Zoom. Sound effects and ambience provided by Sirenscape. Music provided by White Sand. Check out his Patreon at patreon.com/whitesand. Mapping is provided by Campaign Cartographer 3+, World Spinner, and Ink Carnet with adaptations in Adobe Photoshop. Gaming software is provided by Fantasy Lab Hero Grounds. I did it twice. Fantasy Grounds. Well, hey, that's why I'm still awake. Yep, Fantasy Grounds, Hero Lab, and World Anvil. Check out our campaign at www.com/w/Toy Soldier Saga. The Toy Soldier Saga is copyright 1995 by Diane Morrison, all rights reserved. Thank you very much for joining us. Monday is our day off. Tuesday we will be back back for one stream or another at 2 p.m. Likelihood that will be me, right? So that will be 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UTC, 10 p.m. in the UK, 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning in Australian Eastern Time. It will be.
Probably not, babe, because we got to be at the plane at 3.
Oh. Oh, we've already booked the flight, have we? We
Yes.
know where we're going? Okay.
Yes, 3. We're leaving there at 3 o'clock. So we probably have to be there for 2.
Well, shit. Likelihood is we will not be streaming on Tuesday. If we do, it will be a late, unexpected stream. Okay? But likelihood is not, so I guess I'll see you on Wednesday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC, 8 p.m. in the UK, what is that, 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. Alright, we are now going to raid Story Girl. Okay, we're still live. When we get to Story Girl, we're still live. When we get to Story Girl, don't forget to shout, prepare to be boarded, because we are the Sable Privateers, and I'll see you again on Wednesday or next week. Have a good night, or time zone, everyone. We'll see you again.